Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, Hashem Kakadash. Don't want to see apostles and all those great millstone are all one. Shalom to all the brothers doing the work in sincerity and truth. Yeah, got this. Today, in like the last couple of hours, pretty much like just a riot breakout in DC. On Capitol Hill, where they were meant to. I think they're doing it now, or they've just recently done it. But basically, you had a bunch. You know what? Actually, be better to start on this, because you essentially had a bunch of like Trump supporters run up. Let's see if they, yeah. Oh no, okay. We just want to slide through, but they ran up in inside the Capitol building, and just essentially took over. Just funny as hell. Some of these pictures. These men were just up in there taking fucking pictures and shit. It's actually funny. It's ridiculous. But it shows like, yeah, if you go back to when they first got in, someone got their fucking wig pushed back as well. So this is when they were trying to get in. And I think this is when a chick got shot in like the neck, because they bust in, and it's when there was still like senators in there. And then you just had men running up in there and shit like this. This shit made me laugh. Man was just in the fucking seat. I was like, these guys went fucking rabid. Like, man just took over the thing and we're just chilling there, like in like these guys' rooms and shit. Which is just kind of mad, because I'm like, I don't even know if there's something that's ever happened before where you just had man run up in where man were voting on, because it was like literally, I think it started off, maybe I don't think they have one of, no, but it started off with them doing whatever. They'll push them through. They're gonna recognize that Joe Biden's the new president. But then these men just run up, like swarm the ting, ran up inside. Then they just evacuated and left it. The cops weren't even trying to get them out for the longest. But now you had what you call it? Now you had what do you call it? The National Guard and like SWAT teams kind of going after. But I'll get into it. But this is the chick that got fucking wigged. What's her name? Ashley Babbitt. They said, yeah, they killed an unarmed woman. Yeah, she was a U.S. vet. Imagine that. And it said what? She was shot through a window on a closed door by an officer. Babbitt appeared to be standing behind a group of people who were attempting to gain entry into the chamber. Police had barricaded the doors and were attempting to keep the Patriot protesters out. Then drew their weapons. They opened fire and shot Ashley in the neck. She was wheeled out of the Capitol in a stretcher covered in blood and later pronounced dead. So yeah, she got fucking completely annihilated, man. So it's kind of mad still, because it's just like, it's essentially like a civil war at that point, where men are running and just stopped the shit from processing at all. Any kind of the whole of this system. Actually, maybe they'll have it on here. But yeah, these men were going completely rabid outside. Yeah, and police were there. But essentially, these men were kind of left to their own devices for a good little while. That's why men were up in there taking fucking selfies with statues and shit, man. It's hilarious. If it was Jake, there would have been like 300 dead niggas, but this is a thing. It's essentially like they're allowing the chaos to build, man. Because it's just, I'm like, bro, they could have wigged these guys. They could have done a lot, and then they just kind of let them run in and do whatever. So it's like, yeah, it's basically like any further action, any like laws they want to pass down now, if they want to strip away a bunch of rights, and as well because I think the Democrats got both houses as well. So essentially, any law that Joe Biden puts through, it should be a matter of course. So then pushing through the mark, pushing through other things just becomes way easier. So this is what a violent mob was on AP. A violent mob loyal to President Donald Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday and forced lawmakers into hiding in a stunning attempt to overturn America's presidential election, undercut the nation's democracy, and keep Democrat Joe Biden from replacing Trump in the White House. The nation's elected representatives scrambled to crouch under desks and don gas masks while police futilely tried to barricade the building. One of the most jarring scenes ever to unfold in the seat of American political power. A woman was shot and killed inside the Capitol. Ashley Babbitt and Washington's mayor instituted an evening curfew in an attempt to contain the violence. And depending, that might get extended because they said it was from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. But depending on how mad these men go, we'll see. So I said the rioters were, and that means as well when Biden's inauguration's happening, then you can expect. Oh, actually, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna mention it here. Capitol breach, Save America rally, Capitol breach. Tension, blah 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 blah. Okay, no, they didn't mention it, but they said they found like 2 pipe bombs as well in the Capitol building. I didn't even check the follow up on that. Trump tells backers go home, media cash. Okay. Let's see if they had it. Because they said tear gas, ballots likely to be shot. Okay. Okay, Trump and President ends up on celebrate the chaos. So FC doesn't mention. It's a fucking long article, holy shit. But no, they didn't. But it was okay, let me see if they've got. Okay, let's go to Electoral College and see if they got something. Because there was, I remember they said, has seen violence for over 2. Not like this. Okay. Capitol riots, productive faith. Presidents. Crowd breaks fence at Washington. Manual. Okay, nah, they ain't got it. But see that. Cool. So it says the rioters were egged on by Trump, who has spent weeks falsely attacking the integrity of the election, and had urged his supporters to descend on Washington to protest Congress's formal approval of Biden's victory. Some Republican lawmakers were in the midst of raising objections to the results on his behalf when the proceedings were abruptly halted by the mob. Together, the protests and the GOP election objections amounted to an almost unthinkable challenge to American democracy and expose the depths of the division that have coursed through the country during Trump's 4 years in office. So yeah, it's essentially you like at this point, even if Trump goes, it's still gonna be like as the chaos, people going mad, all this like essentially like these men running up on the thing and all essentially this image right here, man, of people going mad is still going down, man. Essentially, you can see this place crumbling, and that chaos that's really been instituted and built up by these elites, man. They put Trump in power, and they essentially pushed out that image, and essentially, a lot of people were living nice under Trump, man. And essentially, that whole American pride, that Edomite pride, came back, man. So now it's just, hey, they're that's what they're attached to, and it's building up for that race war, which you're seeing, being built up once again, and it's got to the point of violence, but hey, it's not it's not going to tone down. Uh. Says though the efforts to block Biden from being sworn in on January 20th were sure to fail, the support Trump has received for his efforts to overturn the election results has badly strained the nation's democratic guardrails. Okay. So, where is... Okay. Has for centuries on the scene, both because they afforded this. So where was... Okay. Okay, yeah. So it says the Pentagon said about 1,100 DC National Guard members were being mobilized to help support law enforcement at the Capitol. More than a dozen people arrested. I think it was like 16 people arrested. It says as darkness began to set in, law enforcement officials worked their way toward the protesters, using percussion grenades to try and clear out the area around the Capitol. Big clouds of tear gas were visible. Police in full riot gear moved down the steps, clashing with demonstrators. Yeah, so the National Guard got involved. So as the military getting around, I think at first they didn't. Yeah, that's the National Guard there. So I think at first they didn't even want to get involved, but then that military getting involved, which and the thing is as if the chaos stays at this level increases, then it's going to be justifiable for the military to come. Because the thing I remember they said when it first kicked off, I think when they were just outside and they hadn't yet broken in. Actually, maybe it was after they broke in. The National Guard was saying they didn't want to come, but then afterwards you're hearing, after I'm seeing all the pictures of people chilling like villains inside, then they had they had the National Guard come through. So this shit's gone batshit, man. It's essentially it is a civil war essentially. That's what you're seeing, which it's gonna the race war angle as well is gonna be turned up. And I think when Biden's inauguration, that's probably the next hot spot of when you're gonna see the chaos escalate again. And then that as well, the sheer amount of people there, the military might have to get involved again. So wait and see. And it shows 2021, man. It's anyone that was anyone that was thinking like, yo, okay, 2020 is done. Okay, it's all plain sailing. It's gonna go back to all peace and love that never existed, then they don't know what's going on. So 2nd Ezra 16, 14 says, "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth." Yeah, so the plagues are sent. All the judgments coming against this place, they've been sent out. They're not going to return. It's only going to escalate. It's only going to get madder out here. That's all you're going to see, man. And that's comes on the side of famine, pestilence, civil unrest. The what's the term I'm looking for, man? The police state as well. The increasing of all these things. Yeah, that's what you're gonna see. It says, "Like as an arrow which is shot out of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days?" Yeah, and that's how people are gonna be feeling. Well, that's how people are feeling. Them guys, you saw them cowering. They said they had to chill under there. These are meant to be the guys running the country, and they were cowering as some men run in. So it's like all that. Woe is me. People are gonna find out how fragile and delicate the balance is, man, and how easily the Lord can just can have no mercy had on you, man. You just get fucked up. So this is the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Yeah, that's what someone with some wisdom will be thinking. What are you gonna do when the evils come through? Because these people out here thinking they're basically strong, and they're thinking they're thinking the government's gonna save them, or Esau's on their side. They don't realize these guys don't care about you, man. These guys are right, have it in for you. So it says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." Yeah, so these things are happening. People are getting jacked up, and they're not even realizing. Oh, they're seeing, all this so-called beautiful, the beast that they've been wandering after, man. Everyone's marveling at Babylon. All of that's crumbling and coming to naught. And they're getting jacked up. Their business might have fucking failed last year. They might have been hoping for some government aid, and they ain't got shit. And these people are all messed up. They're wondering like, yo, what's happened? They ain't wondering. Okay, maybe it's maybe the Lord is fucking me up for a reason. But alas, that's not what people are, man. People are proud. People believe in Esau, man. This is what Mindful's go. "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap on the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." Yeah, just because you're thinking like, oh, there's you've been making good money, you've been able to live in your quality of life might increase. You might have been able to get that car, you might have been able to get that house, but then people were living good before 2008. Then that crash came, and then people were through as all hell, man. People's houses were they were getting kicked the fuck. It was peak. People getting fucked over, and that's a crash like that's coming as well. All these things are gonna compound, man. All these plagues are gonna come upon this place. The curse is gonna come on this place with completion, man. It's gonna be mad, man. And it says, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice. For a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. Yeah, so it's the amount of people that means there's gonna be a mass amount of death, man. Because like it says, the body, like it says, people bodies are gonna be left. The dead shall be cast out as dung. There's gonna be such a level of destruction. It man said 2 men in a city. So now you got like somewhere like London, where it's how much is it? Not like 40 million. I can't even know. Hmm. 40 million. Okay, no, not even. 9 million. 9 million in well, over 9 million is what they say. Um People in London, that's just gonna be 2, maybe 3 in the whole of that. But then it's like even with World War Two, people fucked off from the cities, man. People were staying in the sticks because the city's like a hotspot, man. People will be drawn to it. But then that's why it'll be like what's it called? I Am Legend, man. So this, hey, people are it's heading to people are gonna be getting jacked up, man. People don't know what's coming, man. They're seeing this, they're gonna be quaking in terror. They don't really. It's worse things are coming, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yabashim Yashab Hashem Kakadash Bakadash. Shalom. Shalom.